Hello, Steam and Twitch. Or no, YouTube and Twitch. Gonna be picking up where we left off last time in The Long Dark. I believe on YouTube this will be parts 37 plus. When we last left off, we were in the camp office. Apparently in the movie Aurora, which is not a really good time to be in the camp office. Especially seeing as I'm hungrier than I would like. The Aurora just stopped. Maybe. The short-term plan for this session is to get out to Pleasant Valley and recover some of the deer hide we have in there. Once we've done that, the next sort of goal will be to take this character probably at the Coastal Highway to finish the moose hide satchel. So you can see we're like one deer hide short. Before I forget, we should drop these fresh rabbit pelts. Don't need it with us. It's only going to weigh us down if we take this. I like to kind of leave ruined items, like this whetstone around, as sort of trophies of how much work I've done, so this isn't going to be voided. So I tend to keep the useful ones on the workbench and stuff like that, so I keep them separate. Not liking how low I'm on calories. May take a trip over. Well, there's no food there, so we'll finish off this partial on the acorn. I was about to say I might take the trip out to Trappers, but the Trappers' food is not cooked yet. So instead, I'll probably try to make the dash down to the dam, pick up the venison we have stored there. Hopefully I can get that far without losing my well-fed bonus. Obviously, if I'm going to do that, I don't have time to sit around and hide in the Aurora. So we're going to have to take the risk of traveling the Aurora. Which I suppose with the route that I'm planning on taking, shouldn't actually be too much of a problem. I'm going to take the ridgeline route down to the dam. Which means I'll only get a little spoopy near the end as I get closer to the dam.
I could eat anything right now.
Yeah, this is the beauty that is the Aurora. I usually get stuck in this spot. Where am I going wrong? There we go. Up and around. So at this point the run is going very well. We've got the first bear coat, though at this point, very early in the morning, it's not enough to keep us warm. We've got cooking 5, so basically anything that we see that moves is fair game as far as food is concerned. Though that still means that moose and bear are probably the best source of food. As wolves aren't very good food-wise. At least in comparison to deer, moose, and bear. And rabbits and ptarmigans are more for their crafting material than they are for their food. Don't think I have any tea on me, pre-cooked. No, I have some coffee that I can drink.
Fingers feel numb.
but I'd rather not drink the coffee, so sort of inefficiently eat some of these acorns here. To be fair, before you've turned them into acorn coffee, they're actually a better source of calories. So if I'm eating them for calories, it's better to eat them as acorns rather than turn them into acorn coffee. Acorn coffee just acts like a worse coffee, which has benefits of its own. Mainly in the fatigue department, so... Okay, we're going to take a little bit of condition damage here, but that shouldn't be a problem because we're 5% over max health anyway because of the well-fed bonus. So we can sort of casually take 5% damage here and not be any lower on health than we would be if we didn't have well-fed. At this point, because we have the bear jacket on, we're also reasonably armored, so I'm not too worried about running into a wolf. If worse comes to worse, I should be able to win an engagement with a wolf when comboing the bow and the armor. So we finished most of the trip down to our venison. It's going to be this last stretch here after across the bridge where it's actually going to probably be the most dangerous because wolves can be on the trailer cabin side of the railroad here. Whereas the rest of this walk over here has been very safe, as long as you don't smell. Though I suppose that's the other way to deal with wolves, right, is if you smell, you can attract them to you to make them really easy hunting targets. Which is not something you can do with moose and deer. There's a wolf. Oh, the Aurora went away. I'm like, it's not glowing like an Aurora wolf. But if the Aurora has ended, it's just regular wolf now. Ooh, getting awfully close to running out of calories here. Just in time, we get there, so I'm pretty sure we still have wall fed. Yeah. Okay, so I'll have to maybe leave a reminder for myself that there isn't much venison left here. We're down to 2 kilograms of venison. And with that, the next place for our character to go into is into the dam. We'll traverse the dam, and hopefully by traversing the dam we'll warm up quite a bit. I will probably need to hunt when I get to the farmstead. And the farmstead, in my mind, is a decent place because of the 6-range stove for cooking. even though you'd probably do indoor cooking there. Okay, hopefully by being quiet you did not hear too much of that siren as the emergency vehicle went past. Left the... Oops, I made a second pair of deerskin boots here. This is a place I passed through enough that I'm not going to leave a note saying that it's here. Because if I need it in the future, then I can always just pass through here and go like, ooh, nice fresh pair of deerskin boots. It is now in theory daytime, so I don't necessarily need to worry about any Aurora electrical effects in here. Plus we just had an Aurora, so it'd be unlikely even if it was still nighttime. Already did once over on the good spots in here, so I'm just going to sort of walk through in an efficient manner. Scrap metal's tempting. We might want that for when we're contemplating fishing. Starting to run a little low on oil, and a big fishing trip would be a good way to recover oil. So if I see scrap metal, I might pick up all the scrap metal. Do I want to leave? I have not warmed up as much as I would like. Do I still have a hacksaw on me? No. Which is probably a good thing, because most of the scenarios I'm going to use the axe instead. Pass a little bit of time to allow both the character to warm up and the world to warm up. The early morning is the coldest. So the later into the day we get, the greater likelihood it'll actually be warm. Although this is still not what I consider warm. Sometimes the better the weather looks, I feel. Yeah, frequently the better the weather looks. Actually, the worst it is from temperature sometimes. Some of the groggy looking days are actually surprisingly warm. So there's a rabbit dying. At this point, I'd probably actually want to hunt the wolf that's hunting that rabbit more than I'd want to hunt the rabbit. So if I was looking for deer goods, that deer on the next switchback would be a decent deer to pick up. But the moment I got enough deer stuff, that really I'm looking for the stuff I've already gathered and cured. Which again, I know I have, memory serves, I know I have one more deer hide at the farmstead. Cattails make good emergency food, so if I see cattails, I will stop and pick them up. Though I have been through here before, there's a decent chance there isn't very many left.
Can't feel my hands.
can also see that I'm picking up all my ruined / worn out torches. When I get to the cave, I can disassemble them before they're sticks. Because I've got plenty of carrying capacity right now. So when you've got when you've got sunshine, make hay. When you got carrying capacity, pick things up to take advantage of the carrying capacity. And just be also willing to be very ruthless on abandoning goods when you fill your carrying capacity up. How many sticks do I have on me? Or not sticks, stones? 3. Standard 3. Don't know why my mind in the old sticks and stones proverb immediately flipped to the wrong one. I think on my longest run, I had the old version of the lantern. It's also in Stalker, but on that version I have the old version of the lantern, which is not as bright, but it keeps the fuel longer. It doesn't wear the fuel out as quickly. Walking through here, sort of a determined path. Determination, not necessarily slowing down, but not necessarily intentionally trying to be fast about it. Like, I could be sprinting through here, but I don't need to be sprinting through here. Well, I don't want the branch, I want the stick. Stick. So no, this isn't the way, this is the dead end, but the dead ends down here tend to be the places with the renewable coal. So like that, I've got more coal. I'm now a little overweight, but I'll save a little bit of weight by disassembling the torches, because the torches lose about half their weight disassembling them into sticks. Dead end, more coal,
too heavy.
Also a ruined torch. One problem about being too heavy is I believe you burn through calories and fatigue a little faster. But like most of the too heavy malices, they go up the more you're overweight. Just being a little overweight isn't usually that bad. Turn the torch off to save fuel. And I think by harvesting all these torches we'll get warm again before we leave the cave. Not much to say about it. It's just a sort of tedious process to go through that many torches in once. And it doesn't quite get us back down to carrying capacity. But I think hydring the character might. Yep. Nice sunny day. Like most nice sunny days in the long dark, it's incredibly cold. Sometimes the overcast days are actually warmer. In fact, the overcast days are often warmer. We'll take that. Pretty sure I searched here already. Yeah, there's nothing up here. This can be a decent place if you're a bit peckish to hunt rabbit. And given our needs, we might actually do a little rabbit hunting. As is the place that I often stop, coming and going. I often leave little things like this here, so I don't have to lug it around while I'm waiting for it to cure. And then I can always come back and pick it up later. So we got 1 rabbit, 2 rabbit. Did he go overcast in the amount of time I was in the cave? Maybe. Yes.
Can't feel my feet.
A little water, and this is a good opportunity to warm the character back up. After this, we should be able to make it the rest of the way to the farmstead with negligible damage taking. Okay, so it's about -15. So I'm going to slap 16 pieces of sticks on here. This will be a fire that won't necessarily get our character particularly warm. But it should be a fire that will keep our character from getting colder.
So cold.
Now, where did the other one go?
Never felt so cold in my life.
There was a second one. Well, we'll give it a 10-minute break to see if it comes back. Want to harvest this one. There one is. Might not be the one I was looking for earlier, but that is a rabbit.
Oh, I'm so cold.
Ah. Missed. Oops. Chucked my third stone when I didn't mean to. Ah, put the biggest pieces on. Like so. 20 minutes is about enough time to get both the guts off of these. So then I can eat the rabbit, throw the guts in the cave, and come out and harvest the furs. As you can see, it is starting to warm up, because we're actually starting to gain warmth faster. Though we're still obviously not apparently all that warm away from the fire. So I may need to throw a little bit more fuel in the fire if it doesn't start to warm up more. To actually get the character warm for the trip. Yeah, everything cold. I think trading a little bit of the calories for just getting back to the fire to avoid damage is a good idea.
Die if I don't warm up soon.
Now, rabbit hides don't smell, so I can take these with me as I head down to the farmstead. I probably won't take them all the way down to the farmstead. I can leave guts and hides in the barn, which is about halfway between here and the farmstead. Oh, and there's carcass harvesting 5. A little heavier than I want it to be, so I'll leave 1.5 liters behind. And I always try to take fuel out of the fire whenever possible. Though I may need to have thrown more fuel in the fire to actually warm up a bit. I may take a little bit of condition damage getting from here to the next location. Because I didn't do that. If I knew I had I was about to say fuel, but if I knew I had food where I'm going, I might be more willing to sprint to get there faster to avoid the condition damage.
to find some place to escape this cold.
Yeah, well, I know a place. It's the end of the journey, and the end of the episode at this point. We're gonna finish getting the rest of the way down to the farmstead. I mean, the episode will probably be a bit longer than 30 minutes, because we're already at 30 minutes. Nope. This snow embankment is a little bit steeper than I was remembering it. Come on, up you can get. There we go. Yeah, right now we're not super paranoid about food. We got enough calories in our character.
Gear.
And most of Pleasant Valley, to be fair, is actually unlooted. I have done very little looting in Pleasant Valley. We went Desolation Point to Mountain Town, or Mountain Lake, or Mystery Lake. For Mystery Lake, we went through Pleasant Valley up to the gold mine. So we pretty much only searched the radio tower that we're passing over there, and the farmstead, and pretty much nothing else. If I wasn't over-encumbered, I could take the rope as a quick way down. I am over-encumbered, and as a side effect, the fatigue is probably more valuable, so I'm going to end up billy-goating down the side here. A little bit farther along, it's actually shallow enough that you can probably walk up, if you can't walk up right there where I'm billy-goating down. Though it is a little bit of a sprain risk if you're over-encumbered. You don't have, like, crampons on for the up trip. Down trip isn't that bad, but the up trip's actually worse. We'll probably do a bit of... Well, I'm thinking I gotta warm up. Probably should do some cooking, so we'll see what food we've got there when we get there. Same time, it's also tempting to do some crafting while it's a nice sunny day. Because assuming I am correct and there is a deer hide there, we can start on the deer hide pants. But if we don't have any food, then we'll deplete our food source and or calories in our character and be a little worried for a little bit later on. But that will all probably be in the next episode, because right now, the goal of this episode is to complete the track over to the farmstead, which we should be able to do fairly soon. Once we crest this road, you should be able to see the farmstead. So that's the barn we can see right now. And in the distance, if you've got keen eyes, you can see the farmstead. This is another place that's actually pretty good for hunting rabbits, or farming rabbits. I tend to consider it farming when you're using snares. So we can duck in here, get a little bit of warmth, because we should warm up pretty quickly inside.
Too much stuff to carry.
This is where I'm going to drop the rabbit hides. To cure. I think I've searched here already. Well, that would probably be the easiest way to track. Are you searched? Yes, so I've been here before. So not much ado, I'll head and finish the trip over to the farmstead. This can be a decent place to both hunt bear, wolf, and sometimes deer. The only thing bad about this hunting spot is it's supposed to be a little difficult to get fuel out here.
Too cold.
Because the old orchard here doesn't generally spawn very many sticks or branches within it, so you gotta go out the outer extremities, like cross the road there, harvest the branches and stuff, and bring them back. I'm going to try keeping this torch going, just in case there is food when I get there, but it's uncooked. There's a decent chance there'll be something like flour that will require cooking. And yeah, as I said earlier, this is an episode that's a little bit longer than it would normally be. We're pushing closer to 40 than 30. So if you want to see more of this, there'll probably be more of this up tomorrow on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm not planning on stopping at this point. I'm just going to take a quick short break after we step in to finish up my cup of tea. So we're going to have some cup of tea to keep my throat warm and talkative. So if you're watching on YouTube, catch you tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, be right back.